Welcome to what I like to call the day later Nintendo didn't pick us direct, where a bunch of other games announced their release dates or announcements because they weren't featured in the direct. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. Some fun games here to cover, so I wanted to clue you in with a quick blast of news. First off, Minecraft Dungeons is getting a free game trial on Nintendo Switch, and this is a pretty cool game. It's very Diablo-light, so if you've played Diablo, you know of Diablo, you don't want like Hell and Brimstone, instead you want Minecraft. Minecraft Dungeons is pretty fun. It's available starting today until September 3rd on Nintendo Switch Online in North America, and it is a very fun game. Apparently this is the second time it's come to Nintendo Switch game trials. It was on here once before in 2021, but I still recommend it, and I still think it's a fun time, especially if you have like a little one who wants to be introduced to action RPGs. You can team up and play with up to 4 players. It's pretty darn neat. Rugrats Adventures in Gameland looks sweet, and it is streaming to Switch on September 10th. That is super soon, 2 weeks away. And this great game based on old school 2D platformers is here. Now, don't be confused. This is not a remake. It is not a remaster. This is a brand new game, but it does have an awesome 8-bit art style option. So you can play the game in this gorgeous, like HD looking sick art, or you can play the game in equally gorgeous, super sick color palette, 8-bit visuals. I love Chucky Finster's hair in the 8-bit art. I think that's like the perfect color of orange. It's just like that very nostalgic orange, weird color palette from the NES for me. This game is really darn cool looking. I hope it plays well, and I love this idea of making brand new something that, you know, is old, but it's brand new, especially because so many companies are just remastering and remaking old games. This is like the most ironic version where we're trying to take a game and make it look like it's a remaster, but in actuality, it's brand new. I'm super pumped for this one. Hopefully it turns out well and we can play it in 2 weeks. Plus, I've got Rugrats on the mind. Who remembers that show? Most of you do probably know the Rugrats, Angelica, Tommy, Chucky, and more, but do you know Croc, Legend of the Gobos? This was my first freaking PS1 game that I got with the big gray rectangle, and boy did I play the heck out of this, and boy did I not get very far. Cut me some slack, I was very young when I got my PS1, and I cracked the jewel case for Croc, Legend of the Gobos quite quickly, as happened back then with PS1 cases, but somehow, some way, and for some reason, Croc Legend of the Gobos is coming back with a remastered version launching on Nintendo Switch in 2024. They say that we wanted to honor the original game's legacy while introducing it to a new audience. The HD remaster allows us to do just that. It's been a labor of love. I don't know if there's much love for this game. Claims it sold millions of copies back in the 90s, so okay. There were sequels to this game, and the main thing I remember is not knowing where to go and feeling like every time I hit the enemies, they wouldn't react, and I don't know. My young kid brain was like, why aren't the enemies reacting to my tail swipe? I'm swiping them. Show me something, enemies. Fall over at least. Anyhow, if you're very nostalgic or just want to see what I played back on my PS1 in 1997, Croc Legend of the Gobos is coming later this year. Here's a bizarre one, and it's kind of crazy, kind of cool. Well, it could be cool, but knowing GameStop, they might make it uncool. GameStop has announced that they're rebranding certain locations as retro stores. And retro to them means all the way up to the Wii U. They've got this image here of what is retro for GameStop, and they show, you know, the NES, the Super Nintendo, but then they've got Dreamcast, PlayStation Vita, PlayStation 3, Wii U. It's like, dude, is the Xbox 360 retro? I don't know, but I do like the idea of having stores that have an emphasis and a focus on stocking more of these games, although it's probably better for you to A, support a local game shop, or B, just get these off eBay because you'll get actual cheaper prices than GameStop. Typically, they really, really ramp the prices and they really, really drop what they give you in store credit. I don't recommend trading in any of these types of games to GameStop, but these retro stores are interesting. I'm assuming they're still going to sell modern games. Like, to me, it would make no sense to have the entire store be retro. I'm assuming this means like, okay, there's just going to have a retro game section, but you can still go buy, you know, Grand Theft Auto 6 at your GameStop. I do have a GameStop Retro near me. I'm curious if it's already been converted. When I go on the store locator, it says it's GameStop Retro. So part of me wants to go check it out and do a little, like, sleuthing to figure out exactly what this means. I don't know if any of you would be curious in that or if you're interested, but they're clearly trying to embrace the Funko Land nostalgia, the Funko Land history, the Funko Land vibes that they had back in the day before they were GameStop and when they were much cooler. GameStop hasn't been cool for a while now. It's kind of crazy that the stores are still in business and they're clearly grasping at straws here to try to do what they can to stay alive and to be relevant to gamers. Would you go into a GameStop to look for a DS or a Wii U game? I mean, maybe, but like I said, unless their prices are great, I think this is probably a flop. Although it's an interesting idea, and if they're able to make it great, I don't know, I'd be okay with that. I wouldn't mind for GameStop to be more of like a retro thing instead of a, oh, come be asked to pre-order a game 10 million times, especially now that Game Informer is dead. Like, where's the value in that? Probably there is none. But there is value in Platform 8, the sequel to the Exit 8, which was dropped on Switch earlier this year. Platform 8 is coming November 28th. This was announced, I think, in the Japanese version of yesterday's Direct, or maybe it just wasn't announced at all. I don't know. It's a $4 game on the eShop, so I got to give it major props. This is one of those games where you keep running through a loop. If you've played the Exit 8, you know exactly what you're in for. If you haven't played the Exit 8, probably go check out the Exit 8. It's a very cool, unique, interesting game. They're also dropping a physical version of this in a bundle, Exit 8 Platform 8, which has a super sick cover from Playism. I love this cover. It looks really, really nifty. But alas, the game is $4, so physical versions usually cost more just because the premium to put cartridges into boxes like this. You probably just download it, although it is one of the coolest and most clever covers I've seen. It's giving like Resident Evil vibes where they turn the number into part of the art, except like this is way simpler and not as corny. It's just Exit 8 Platform 8. Boom. One more for you is Disney Music Parade, which I never knew existed. This was announced in the Japanese version of the Partner Showcase. It's coming November 21st. Apparently it supports English, so you can pick this up if you want. I guess it's based on a mobile game from 2021, but it has all sorts of songs from the Disney universe, and it's a rhythm action game where you're going to be tapping the touchscreen and swiping in time with the music. I don't know if this is like a handheld only game, like a portable only game, or if you're able to use the Joy-Con and kind of the arrows and buttons. I'm a big Disney fan, and the song variety seems pretty nice. It's 4-player local co-op, which is interesting, or 4-player competitive. I'm not even quite sure, but I don't know. Like, I feel like rhythm game is just like the cop-out for Disney that they do time and time again. Could you just give us something else? I mean, they kind of riffed on Animal Crossing with Dreamlight Valley. They did the Racer, which I'll give them credit for. The rhythm game, though, is kind of overdone. I think maybe the Rugrats route is the better route, the platformer, although they did do that with Mickey. Okay, Disney, I'll give you a break. You've done better, and I really like these day-late directs where it's like drops that didn't make it into Nintendo's presentation. They either didn't get asked, they didn't pay, or however that goes down. But let me know what you're going to pick up from the list of extra announcements that we just ran through. My favorite is the freaking Rugrats game. I think that looks super sick, and I'm kind of curious about this GameStop Retro. Maybe I will go check it out. In the meantime, play Exit 8. Download Minecraft Dungeons if you're interested. And for now, stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. Until next time, SwitchForce out.